research into us, and they accepted that. So it's really just because, once again, in the independent mental health advocates have to be spread across every ward of every hospital throughout the country. They have a very safe way of working at the moment, and safe is wonderful, but it doesn't actually necessarily help that patient. But as Jose said, when we come on to a later pillar number 8, the final one, they're doing it with the backup, as we intend to do it, a backup of something I'll tell you in a moment. So that was mentoring. The next one is support. So it's all well and good being that individual that goes and visits you in hospital, or that goes and visits you at home, or takes that mentoring role, one-to-one role on. But actually, if you're not in hospital and you're not well, in the old days they used to have day services. It's one of the biggest cutbacks, one of the most frustrating cutbacks, is the fact that there aren't the same options in terms of places that you can go where you can feel safe, where you can not just be idly at home with nothing to do, or getting more and more deeper into your pit of depression, or whatever it may be. Having a space that is safe, that has activities. There are a few people in the room who I know happen to be Jewish, irrelevant, other than the fact that there's a phrase that's being developed in Israel. It's called Shikum Akka, and it's about alternative rehabilitation. It's about actually helping empower people to discover a life that is worth living and rediscover their talents and their skills. And that's something that really we'll talk more and more about, but actually when we talk about a support, a space like this, which will be a gallery / cafe, and we'll have a private space after the first 3 meters, that currently the space you're all sitting in, which is a space that can be used for multi-use, so we can have yoga sessions, we can have art therapy sessions, we can have different talks like tonight. But actually the artists that we've signed up on, Jan is the one exception because of the way her art works, but all the artists that we've signed up so far, every single one of them has agreed that as part of participating in this project, they will give a session a month. So that enables us to run probably 2 sessions each from different artists per week, where an artist is actually doing their art in the live, in a group, in a scenario where they're not doing art therapy, but they're helping show people, they're helping inspire people, encourage people, and those are real artists. Now, we're not paying them, okay? They are supporting a project, they're getting some good PR if they want it, we're helping them with that, but also they're selling their work. And it's all about, they're not selling it to the service users, but it's a way of actually thinking outside the box. So how can we bring resources in to help us do this?
And again, sorry, Johnny, 1 second. Again, for the Barnet Voice people, I'm sure you can see that there's a clear potential there to utilise our Barnet Voices active membership, who have that understanding that they can get involved with supporting people in places like the Space to Be. And we have this vision, the Space to Be. I mean, I was dealing recently with a chap who's on a section 3 at Barnet, but who's come escorted by staff to Space to Be on a couple of occasions. You may know who I'm talking about. And I know that for him that's been a hugely powerful experience. It's been the best thing that he's done during his 4 months of detention on the ward under section. There's no question about it. The thing that he's kept on talking about is coming out for those 2 hours a week to Space to Be with a nurse, and sometimes they have the staff to bring him out, and as you can imagine, as we all recognise, sometimes they don't have the staff to bring him out, and he's lost the opportunity to do that. This should be happening on the wards, and that's another question, that's a massive question, is that this sort of thing should be happening on the wards. But it should be available to the community, not just on a Monday and a Friday for 2 or 3 hours, but every day, and have somewhere that is informal, that is a cafe, that people can drop in, that there will be activities going on, there will be peers here who can give the mentoring, the support and the advocacy on an ad hoc basis, but have a constantly open, see it 24/7 one day, who knows, but something that's open so much more often than Space to Be, and that's not a criticism of Space to Be, it's just a recognition of the limitation of the funding that Space to Be has had, but the recognition of the fabulous benefits. So that's where we see that there is some real potential for connection with Barnet Voices active membership, Barnet Voices people, in terms of working alongside Pure Thought to make this wonderful space that Johnny, along with the support of other people, but really Johnny has developed, for those of us who've seen it, with boxes and carpets and bedraggling cables into this wonderful space so far today. The idea that Barnet Voice can support Pure Thought to make this a living, breathing, constant drop-in, I think that's potentially very exciting for service users, and very exciting for those in Barnet Voice who want to get involved with that.
And we list it under support because it really is the main way that it's constantly supporting you. And when Jose says about 24/7, one organisation we've been developing quite good talks with so far for the last 4 months, thanks to Lisa, there you go, who made the introduction to us when she found out about what we were doing, and that's Nightline. Nightline is an organisation that currently works purely aimed at students, but it's 24/7.